3, 2.
This is the sound of
Zeitgeist.
is the sound of
The Zeitgeist.
you in the presence of
The Zeitgeist.
the
Zeitgeist zealots.
This is for the streets. Let's give them
The Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist.
in the Trump-a-mania. You be turning your speakers up.
Zeitgeist.
Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
Major.
I'm Tip.
That
And today we're going to discuss Peacemaker episodes 1 and 2.
We've already done Peacemaker
Right.
episode 1. Make sure to subscribe. You can check that out. This is Peacemaker episode 2. Yeah, you missed that one for us.
Yes.
It's real sad we missed you. But we'll definitely touch on the
Actually,
highlights of
no.
it.
I think I was there. Was I not?
Were you there?
If I just forgot.
Well,
Um,
that's why you gotta subscribe.
so,
Maybe.
that's episode 2.
Episode
of
2. Yes, sir.
Peacemaker.
So
A lot
we're
of
dealing
nothing
with-
happened.
Yeah, what a filler episode. I finished watching and I was like, man, there was a lot of James Gunn this episode, but not a lot happening.
Yeah.
The owly or owly, the eagly scene was great. When we'll talk about that. When who needs who needs an alarm system at home when you have a bald eagle? Forrest. I have been wanting to since last Thursday when I watched the episode. I've been wanting to talk to you about bird blindness. Just
Oh, yeah.
the most ridiculous thing of all time. But
That's real. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, if
So,
you're actually blind,
Forrest,
then
do you
yeah.
suffer from
You're right.
bird blind?
Well, if you're actually blind,
If you're blind,
Yeah.
then well, that's not bird blindness. It's just all blindness, right?
yeah.
If you're going with a 4,
I think
that's
bird blindness. Bird blindness goes in.
that
But,
was such a dumb, funny thing. Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, we're gonna break down the whole episode, give you our thoughts on it. We start with John Cena, Peacemaker, Chris Smith trying to hide his. We're gonna call him Peacemaker 2, the Peacemaker from the other universe, because in the last episode, he hit the jetpack. Which is a nice callback to the Suicide Squad, where he wanted a jetpack, and yeah, the guy died. Or Peacemaker 2 died. So we open up with Peacemaker 1 trying to shove him in a little coffin container kind of thing, and it just doesn't work. So he's got to call Vigilante over to get the bone saws.
Which is
ready.
a pretty funny scene.
Vigilante's just so
Vigilante
funny. He's so
enjoys himself. He's like,
He's just so happy to be
That's
hanging out with
pretty
his
funny.
best friend Peacemaker. Like it's so
And
funny.
he's like, "Whee!"
It's like, so you call me over whenever you have a problem, like you need to get rid of a dead body, but you don't call me over for an orgy. And then one of the best lines is like, I'm not like a pervert. I don't like sex or anything. It's if people don't remember, I think it's a callback from the end of season 1 where Peacemaker and Vigilante have sex with that one girl, and that's why he's like, sex is like things best friends do together. And John Cena's like, no, no, it's not.
They
And then they
both
go
banged the
and-
same chick. I missed that.
Yeah,
that part.
yeah. At the same time, that good old Paris
Tower.
Paris threesome. The Eiffel Tower here, we're sure. That's the James Gunn way. But
Yeah. So
what?
we saw the orgy after party.
Right.
Everyone's like hungover.
Guy needs some
So
coffee.
yeah. I think
Goodness
we,
gracious.
saw- yeah, there's just a lot of aftermath in this episode, just like the aftermath
lots of
of
lots of
Hardcore's,
filler.
yeah, Hardcore's fight. All she gets to the party is a bag of chips.
And James Gunn
She had a
depravity.
jar of dip, which is half of what you need. It was nice that Vigilante again. He brought 48 beers. He was instead of going out the regular way, he came with a fire escape, and then he just starts laughing like a crazy person because he's a crazy person, and we know that because by the end of their party, he's dancing around in his underwear while they're all pouring Bud Lights on him. Bud Light really trying hard to come back.
I call that a
They are.
Saturday.
I call that a Tuesday. Thanks for subscribing, guys. Tim Meadows, the very funny comedian actor, comes. Tim Meadows comes to supervise or chaperone, probably is a better word. Economos, and he just gives the worst nicknames ever. He called him Ginger
Oh,
Cool. And then later on,
they're
when he's got his
hilarious.
Black Ops team, he calls them titties for the one girl with a little bit of cleavage, and then Casino
the bald
Man
one.
for the tall guy with the jaw line, and then he gives Barely Legal. That's not the first one, but like the small guy doesn't like the nicknames at all, so his nickname just keeps getting downgraded from like whatever it was to Barely Legal to Boopsy Doll or something like that, which is apparently a doll from the 80s.
Cupid doll.
Koopy Doll, thank you. Yes, it is. Yeah. But like, dude, if you want to talk about James Gunn fatigue for a second, the Tim Meadows conversation where they're sitting in the van and he's explained to them like they all want to go because Peacemaker just left, and he's like, no, wait, sometimes people have like gifts that they bring to parties and they forget them, so they turn around and come back, and it's like a 3 or 4 minute conversation that feels like an hour. Well, like they're talking about like housewarming gifts. What is a housewarming gift? And it's like, this is a lot of James Gunn. This is a lot of empty dialogue to fill up.
It is. There was a good bit of filler in the episode, but it was also, I wanted to watch him go into the alternative universe.
That's the only thing we
See what
care
he did
about.
there.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you
At this
like,
point.
you gotta like, oh, let's take this time to build up some motivation for Peacemaker. So like again, Peacemaker gets trashed at this party. They cut away so we don't have to worry or think about like how he gets home safely because they are all hammered. Don't drink and drive, guys. And what he pulls out his doppelganger's Peacemaker 2's phone and tries to send a text to the other Amelia, and obviously there's no service because he's in a different dimension. So he stumbles his drunk ass over just so he can send the text message. So like I understand like the motivational build up behind this episode so we can get to the next episode and things can escalate, but like there just had to be a more entertaining and a better way to write this, or a faster way. This didn't have to be a filler episode. There's only 8 episodes this season or something like that. So like, how do you even have a filler episode in an 8 episode run? That just means you don't have a good enough story to tell. Go back to the writing board,
think
figure that out.
the other issue I have with this, not just being a filler episode, is that James Gunn is using exposition dumps through dialogue as if these conversations throughout the episode with his father and his brother in the other world, with everybody, every single conversation is just an exposition dump done better than other shows. Thank you, Winter Falcon Soldier Man Bear Pig guy in the plane scene.
Nailed it.
But every conversation in this episode between Euronymous and what's her name, between Vigilante and Peacemaker, between Peacemaker and his brother and his father, between Economist, and every single conversation is an exposition dump, as if he wanted this episode just to be a huge exposition dump.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where you're having the issue, is that nothing actually really happens. You're just getting the whole backstory.
Right.
And
Which
the other thing to catch too is
we know
did
the backstory.
Anybody notice? Did anybody notice James Gunn's wife in the pictures with John Cena
Yeah. Well,
when he's
by
going
the
through the phone?
Yeah, her name's Amelia.
Why is that necessary?
It's not. Yeah, why did you want to get your wife half naked next to John Cena for?
It sounded
that
like
part?
his wife wanted to be naked next to John Cena, and he's
Oh,
like,
you think
sure.
that she's like, this is what
Yeah,
we need to do
she's
to
like,
make it more
you can do it,
realistic."
right?
And like, I guarantee you,
Yeah, that's-
if it wasn't his wife, there would be like a video of them having sex or something like that, you know, because that's James Gunn style. We just gotta have an orgy. That's James Gunn style. But he's like, that's my wife, so we'll just do half naked, boobs pushed up. You can lay on John Cena, who's, I mean, no homo. John Cena's hair looked great this episode. I just want to say, like, when I'm looking for a new haircut, I'm gonna like this one.
Just like bring a picture of John Cena's
Yeah, I'm
headshot.
gonna show it to the people at Sports Clips, sponsored by Sports Clips. Not really. We have no
So
sponsors.
that's the overall problem with this episode is that I don't feel the conversation naturally flows with any of the characters because it's serving as them trying to dump the lore
They're
in
just
the
dumping
background
more
for what's to
information onto the
come.
audience.
Yeah,
Right?
it's what I hate about Marvel specifically. Once again, that scene on the plane with
Which is where
Xanadu.
James came from.
Right.
No, I mean we even talked about the beginning, the Rick Flag Senior meltdown, where Rick Flag, I choose
Dude,
this
that was
position.
horrible. How he's
Yeah.
like reading, and what I hate most about the scene is like, was that what Peacemaker said and wrote down? Was like
No,
the whole like
the last
I'm really
words.
confused. It's like, yeah, like would Peacemaker actually own up to what he did, or Peacemaker would have his convoluted version of events, not the actual events of what happened? Like, I just don't buy that being in the actual report.
There's no way
unless they
Peacemaker
were, like-
said his last words were Peacemaker what
Yeah,
a
exactly.
Because we know those words stab Peacemaker as much as Peacemaker stabbed Rick Flag. Like those were
But how much can
those
you-
words hit him in his psyche. I can't believe he repeated
How
that
much
to
can
Amanda
you
Waller.
trust Peacemaker's own perspective if this is where the write-up is coming from? And if it's not coming from Peacemaker's perspective, where is it coming from?
Right.
You know
That's
what I
a
mean? Like,
great
I don't
question.
buy like how it just, the scene doesn't work.
There's also
And
a
it's
point.
too like,
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, unless Peacemaker made a statement.
yeah, but even like we we're just saying, he wouldn't admit that the last words were, Peacemaker, what
Peacemaker
a
what a
joke.
joke. And then later on, we
Yeah,
get this
but-
exact same kind of writing flaw
Oh yeah.
when.
Well,
Oh, go ahead, Forrest.
my thought with that was like, I guess like Peacemaker just gave a full report on what he did in that room
He is
to
a good
Waller.
soldier.
So he was just like told him everything, including the Peacemaker, what a joke, and
Yeah, because
How
he's
he
an
killed-
idiot.
yeah, patriotic idiot.
But later on,
So-
we have the exact same writing sin committed in the show when Peacemaker is sitting down with Ababaya, Amanda Walker's
Adebayo.
daughter. Yeah, Adebayo. And
Waller
he
Jr.
shows her the picture of the interdimensional portal and him about to walk through the closet. And, like, that's the picture Economos took. Like, why would John Cena on his phone have a picture of John Cena about to walk into the interdimensional portal from, like, a perspective behind him? Because, the picture was, like, shot behind. You didn't see him. You saw his back. So it's like, I'm sorry, was he taking, like, a timed selfie? Did he, like, set the phone up and then press the button? No, this is the exact photo Economos took. So they're just lazy-ass writing at this point on episode 2, which does not bode well for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
That was pretty much the whole
I'm
episode.
guessing he's going to spend the next episode entirely in the new
In the new dimension,
universe.
right? So at the very end, we hear in the background while the camera's phasing in and out because he's so drunk that his dad is worried about him and looking for him, and he's asking Keith, it's like no one's seen him, and then you hear this one little question the dad asks, is he? Do you think it's the pills again? So mark that'll definitely come up here again soon. But yeah, he probably like passes out in the study from the alternate dimension, and they find him in the morning, and then he starts living his life as Peacemaker too. And then we get the real story, hopefully the real story of the season, which should be the pull for a better life versus taking the easy way, you already got a better life here, or making the best of your situation in the current dimension. I think ultimately he won't be able to get back together with Amelia from the second dimension. So that's what's going to keep him here in the
Good
original
prediction.
dimension. I think he's going to stay here in the original dimension so he can fall in love with Harcourt from his own from his own world.
So something we need to pay attention to. I'm calling it Chekhov's alien creature. In this episode, there's a callback to the alien creature, and they're burning the body, and he tells the alien creature to fuck off, and Vigilante's like, "Who's that?" And it's just like some asshole that never says hi to me, even though I say hi to him. Fucking hilarious
Every
scene.
time.
I hate how James Gunn at times overdoes the making a scene funny for no other reason. But that was fucking hilarious when they're
That
burning
was-
Peacemaker's body and the alien tries to burn the little baby again.
He's a little rat.
And
Yeah.
yeah. But that alien's gonna play some big role in the second to last episode. I'm calling it
Has
right
to.
now. 100%. It has to.
I love it. I agree with that. I think that's a really good call.
Yeah, what is up with the alien?
That intro is living rent free in my head. I think it's a banger of a song. It's, I mean, you know, there's definitely some bad
Of course.
choreography, but like that song
But
lives
here's the thing-
rent
here's
free
the
in
thing.
my head.
Do you remember last season though? The dance that they do tells the whole story of the season.
Uh-huh.
And so now I'm watching the intro, trying to figure out like, okay, what's gonna happen? What can I protect? Basically everybody dies. So is that the destruction of the secondary universe, or like I'm really curious, trying to break it down. It's because it already predicts the death of the second Peacemaker. If you look at it, if you watch it correctly, and so just by watching that, I'm like, okay, the other Peacemaker's gonna die.
Yeah, they all crumble up in a pile of bodies at the end there. So it's like, come on, James. Yeah. Like, James Gunn had this mystifying, like, what is this dance in season 1? And then as it played out, you realize it's telling you the story. So now that the actual fans, not the newcomers, but the actual fans know that the dance tells the whole story, at the end of the dance, you have them all die. It's like, isn't that like a little bit of a spoiler? We'll find out.
So I think they're just trying to throw. This isn't the actual real world. This is what's happening in the secondary world. So
no, I agree, because James Gunn
matters,
his nepotism. James Gunn his nepotism. There's no way he's gonna kill off his wife. He needs that extra paycheck for some reason. Force, are you ready for...
Interesting. So we're predicting everybody dies
from the secondary
universe.
Yeah. In the second universe, yeah. It gets destroyed somehow.
Here's my question: is it Peacemaker's fault?
No, it's going to be.
It's always Peacemaker's fault.
It's not. It's going to be like Judo Master or Vigilante are going to do something stupid to trigger something that starts this cascade failure. It's got to be a secondary character.
Vigilante said he
in response to what Peacemaker's doing.
Yeah, so. I can see that. That makes sense. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, Vigilante in this episode talked about how much fun it would be to meet a better, cooler version of him. Because he's a loser and he knows it. That's why he's so clingy to Peacemaker and stuff.
Does anybody remember Time Cop? It's a movie from like the 90s with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And if you go into this other dimension and you touch yourself, you like fuse and you no longer exist. So I'm wondering if Time Cop rules play a role here in this. It's a stupid 90s movie. It's awesome. I suggest you watch it. But yeah, if you come in contact with yourself, the same people, because like you go back in the past, like the same two things can't occupy the same space, so you like cease to exist. So I'm wondering if like Vigilante or Judo Master meet each other in the opposite universe, and they like start this cascade failure because they can't both be in the same place
apart. I want to throw a fork in your. I want to throw a wrench in your hypothesis by saying that the Peacemakers already met, but that was primarily in the pocket dimension. So there is a possibility that meeting or spending adequate time in the second dimension.
He points a gun at him, and then he's running away, and so they never. I mean,
exactly. That's why I say adequate time.
Like, they never.
They met in the study on Dimension 2, but that was for like half a second before Peacemaker started running.
Yeah. And the blades are chopping up his back. Yeah.
I want to see those helmets, bro. Like,
when
is Peacemaker going to do something besides drugs and alcohol? Is James Gunn, whatever you're doing, you got to talk to Dan Harmon, because you got to get your writing shit back in line.
Yeah,
Dan Harmon
shame.
from Community, not Dan Harmon from Rick
yeah.
and Morty.
Yeah. Anyways,
They're the same.
predictions.
They're the same
Major.
Dan
What do you think's
Harmon.
gonna happen? What do you think's gonna happen
I
next
think you're
episode?
gonna hit the subscribe button because you want to watch more of our reviews because we're gonna be following this every damn week until the end of the season. Overall predictions, I think next week I get to see some fucking helmets. I think they're gonna find the dad or Keith is gonna find our Peacemaker passed out in the study, and he's gonna wake up and try to win back Harcourt. Fail, but geez, I hope we see a battle next episode. It's been so long. Peacemaker, maybe we'll see the top trio get back together one last time for good old time's sake. That's what I think is going to happen. We're going to see the top trio next week. We have to. We need some bumps, and I'm not just talking about saving the bumps saved for a rainy day. Forrest, your predictions?
My predictions, yeah, we'll definitely see Augie and Keith next episode, and probably the alternate Harcourt. And I'm guessing more Rick Flag he'll probably have a bigger role next episode, yeah. And I don't know, Ida Bio, I'm sure she's going to reconcile with her ex at some point this season.
Not if she keeps breaking into her apartment. That's not how you get back with your ex.
Yeah, but they'll be back together at the end of the episode, like because they were back together at the end of last season, and now they broke up again.
Right.
You know, I think James Gunn has no idea what to do with that character.
Agreed.
Vigilante, we still haven't seen him in the suit yet, so I don't think he doesn't really have an arc this season either. And Harcourt, I don't know. I'm guessing she and Rick Flag would go.
Oh,
yeah,
there's
so
that awkward.
No one really has no.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no one really has an arc except Peacemaker right now, or at least
what is his arc? No, I don't think he has an arc right now. It's all speculation. We are speculating what his arc is going to be, but right now he's just been drunk and high for 2 effing episodes. He hasn't done anything.
He's gonna learn to be grateful for the life he has. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the ideal universe. Yeah.
Yeah. Tip, what are your thoughts? Any predictions?
Yep. The lesson of the day will be he will be grateful for the life that he had. He's gonna go ruin everything in the other place, then come back and
do it all over again.
Yep, probably ruin stuff in his universe too. So that Peacemaker rolls.
That is Peacemaker. What a joke!
The worst possible result will incur.
But gosh, I hope some action happens soon. Matt, your final predictions, or not final predictions, but your current predictions?
I don't think anything really is going to happen the next episode. What's going to happen is John Peacemaker is going to be seriously. John Cena, Peacemaker is going to go in a new world and live it up and start neglecting his world, and so the episode's going to end with his friends deciding to go through the portal, figuring out how to get through the portal. And the big catch hook ending is that they're all following economists. So Flag Senior's team is going to be right behind them when they go into the pocket dimension. And that's where it's going to end. It's like, oh no, everybody's going to invade. And episode 4 is going to be everybody coming into the second universe.
No,
and so
that makes so much
Peacemaker's
sense.
going to fuck everything. And that's when the rip is going to happen. The rip is going to happen when all the people go into the second dimension. And so, it's gonna be a cliffhanger. It's gonna be a cliffhanger, but we all know it's coming.
What if Economist is really cool in this other dimension?
That would be awesome. That'd be hilarious.
Fun.
But
that would be pretty funny.
I'm liking Economist, even though I think it's a proper portrayal of characters with autism, and I love it. because he doesn't know how to talk to people directly. In the whole scene with Adebayo about her confronting Peacemaker
Right.
over everything, and she's like, "You really weren't here to be my friend." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, bye." You know,
Yeah, he is very
you know,
off-put, right? And there's that time when like Tim Meadows was like just massaging his shoulders while they're talking. It's like just
it's
so
yeah,
awkward.
cringy.
Oh,
It's cringy.
tomatoes.
Matt, I think
You
you
gotta love
nailed
them.
that. I hope you're wrong. I hope I'm right. I hope we get a big old pow,
Okay, so we'll
kick
get
him
we'll,
up.
we'll
But
get a
I think
battle
you're
scene.
right.
We'll get a battle scene with the three of them in the second world about how like awesome they were.
Okay,
You know what I mean? But it's
merging
really going to
theories
be more about
together. Yeah.
It's really going to be about if we're not going to get a true fight
No.
that actually adds to the plot. It's going to be more about Peacemaker spending too much time in this other universe. So
Right, falling in love with the wrong
But-
people who don't
Ki-
live in his world.
kind of final point though, and I think I made this about the first episode too. This is James Gunn, I feel, giving a middle finger to Marvel about how to do the multiverse correctly, because everybody in Marvel has multiverse fatigue,
Yes.
and
Well,
here we are
everyone
with
has
another.
multiverse fatigue.
But here we are doing a DC story with the multiverse, and we're like, yeah, this is kind of cool.
It is a fresh
we're not-
spin on
we're
it.
not-
It's a more
Yeah,
grounded.
it's a fresh spin. Yeah, we're like buying it though. Whereas in the Marvel universe, everybody's like, fuck the multiverse. And even in parts of DC with Superman and Batman and Flash and all that shit with their multiverse, everybody's like, this is fucking stupid. But
But this is
I
actually
think
a
this
pretty
is kind of like
decent
James
take,
Gunn saying like,
right?
I can do it correctly, and so I'll give him that.
Well, all right, if we want to talk about the multiverse for a second, I thought it was weird, or yeah, I'll say weird, because it wasn't an Easter egg. And in the normal sense, you'd think the shilling would continue. The Peacemaker said that the Pocket Universe opens up 99 dimensions. I thought they would have stuck with 52, for the 52 dimensions, 52 worlds from the DC comics and stuff. But they went the full 99 dimensions. So I thought that was like a little like, why not 52 worlds? And then I was like, maybe we don't want to go down that path. So I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know if it's a bad idea. But it wasn't a good Easter egg. It would have been a fun Easter egg if he was like, yeah, there's 52 pocket dimensions. That would have been fun. Guys, I think that's pretty much it. Do we have any final
99.
thoughts on Peacemaker? We liked episode 2. I mean, it was a great
I
waste
liked
of
it well
time.
enough.
It was a filler. It was a good use of 48 minutes of my time or an hour of my life, right? But like, I wouldn't tell anyone to watch episode 2. It wasn't groundbreaking television. It wasn't transformative. And not that superhero TV shows need to be like, but it needs to be good. And I was semi-entertained. So I'll be back for episode 3.
Still better than Autumn Guy and Eagle and Xanadu scene on the plane where it's like a 5-minute exposition dump. I would much rather take this type of filler episode than that 5-minute scene any day.
I agree. Marvel, you heard it here first.
Agreed.
Definitely not hearing it first. But you heard it. You guys need to step your fucking game up. Like, James Gunn is barely trying and he's still whooping your ass. So that's just something we need to contend with. And hopefully, I mean, especially for Doomsday and Secret Wars. Because if Marvel's going to keep making movies like they've been making movies, it's going to be a dog pile shit. And it's going to be 2 massive flops because they're going to cost, like, with marketing, $500, $600 million to make. And then they're not going to get anywhere near those kind of returns. So Marvel needs to get their shit
But here's the
together.
other thing, too. The reason why James Gunn works is the reason why Deadpool works, the reason why kind of Guardians of the Galaxy
F-words!
Make it rated R. Do not make it PG-13. And that's what's been killing Marvel. I don't mind like certain shows being more for the kids and the family, but you need to have that kind of, I don't want to say adult content, but a lot edgier, grittier,
Well, actually, that's a
rated
great point.
R.
Matt,
style.
Well, because
comic
that's
movie.
who's going out to the movies.
you're a father of some older kids.
Right.
If hypothetically let's say hypothetically your son was 13 and therefore PG-13 movies are on the table, so you go and take him to watch Superman, and he loves the new James Gunn Superman. And then he's reading online that James Gunn came out with Peacemaker, but you can't show him Peacemaker because of the Mordry and episodes 1 and the follow-up in episode 2. So, like, as a parent, does that bother you? Like, the inconsistency, like, all right, my kid's gonna miss half the canon because you wanted to be edgy.
No, so here's the thing. You got to start somewhere,
right?
And you have to grow with,
the audience.
The medium has to grow with the people and the
Yes.
audience.
Everyone
so
who
there
loved
are some
Marvel,
of us who are younger.
Right. Mm-hmm. Everyone who loved Marvel, phases 1, 2, and 3, have all grown up. Let's see Power Girl, Sydney Sweeney. Power Girl, that's your first $2 billion movie. Boom.
But
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
DC's been doing a lot better than Marvel lately because I love the Penguin, right? But I love that as an adult, knowing, I saw Tim Burton's Batman 2, and I grew up on that with a PG-13 weirdness of Tim Burton. But you can't just be hyper-focused on growing the audience through, kids, because kids are going to get hooked, and they're going to be hooked for life. You have to keep them around after they become 18, 19, 20 years older. They're honestly, they're watching Peacemaker at 16. They're hiding it, they're logging onto the account. I know my son's going to do that too. But you have to keep them engaged, and to hyper focus on family-friendly content because you need to grow the base is kind of this like weird late stage capitalist view of ever expanding. You have to keep them involved, and not everything has to be rated R, but throw in more rated R content. So like is it Batgirl or Batwoman that they dropped? I'm willing to make it.
Yeah, Batwoman.
Yeah, so if they had made that a rated R movie, like I feel it wouldn't have just been gotten rid of. The reason why, Batman Begins, Batman, the Joker scene in the second Batman, there, where they're robbing the bank, is just so vicious. Like as an adult, you're like, yes, this is what I want to see, and this is how you keep me engaged.
Yes,
is by showing this type of stuff. And the reason why Peacemaker is so awesome is because it's something fresh. It's something as an adult I can watch and not watch with the kids.
Yes,
and then eventually when my kids get old enough, I'll be like, dude, you got to check out Peacemaker.
You're gonna, and it's gonna be a nice enough time frame for you where you'll rewatch and love it all over again. But yeah, like, when's the last time you saw a white supremacist be the main bad guy in a movie or a TV show, right? And that was season 1, right? That was the Red Hood, or the White Hood, whatever. His dad, Augie, he was why is he evil? He's a white supremacist. Boom, shot him in the head. Like, you're not going to see that. Batman and Superman are not going to be shooting white supremacists in the head. That's just not going to happen. That's just, and it's in the same universe. That's
which is hilarious, because if you watch some of the original Superman animation from like the 1940s and 50s, their whole episodes of Superman punching Nazis.
That's all they did.
There is an actual comic book of Superman just punching Nazis. But I hate this idea that we have to keep everything family friendly. Like, you need to keep fans engaged. You keep fans engaged by offering stuff that's, a little bit more mature and has a little bit more adult content, and
Black Label.
The true detective of DC or Marvel, where we're looking for the small minor details and the continuity actually matters.
No, I agree. I like that perspective. You're absolutely right. So, just to recap, you don't have a problem just saying, no, you can't watch this yet. You're not old enough. But in the long run, it's so healthy for everyone, for the content to grow with the audience. Because, maybe your kid's 13 now and gets to watch Superman, but in a couple of years, he'll be 16, and now he gets to watch Peacemaker. I love that.
Like, have you seen Peacemaker? Yeah.
It's a really smart perspective. That's awesome, guys. Do we have any final thoughts before we wrap up the episode? I know. Besides subscribing, so you can watch more great content with us.
I think looking forward to next episode. It can't be worse than this one.
Challenge accepted.
Roger that, Forrest.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Last words.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll be back next week with maybe in a couple of days actually, because we're going to record tomorrow for the new Peacemaker release. Try to gain the SEO. Speaking of gaining the algorithm, if you comment down below, tell us how you like the episode. What do you think about the podcast? What do you think about us? And more importantly, what do we think about you? We think you're awesome. We love you. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.